Ah, we're here, chat. Holy shit. Okay, what's happened so far? We've seen Izo into Ace 3 on turn full gem so far. Oh boy. Okay. Blue Purple Luffy on the 4 Dawn turn, just going for a 6k swing. Looks like he's going for either a pudding or a Bond Clay here. I would assume it's the Bond Clay. He'll leave 1 down open to use Gear second defensively. If he had Thunder Bagua, he could do like some shenanigans with 2 Thunder Baguas to ram twice, but don't think that's going to be the case here. Ace counters out of this 6k swing with an Otama. Doesn't want to get pudding here, so here's the Bonclay ramping up to 5 Dawn total already. I have not posted that I am streaming. Hi Ezra. My broadcast is crazy, bro. Fukuoka CS COSTREAM. Okay, that works better. Okay, so Yamato's played here. He's going to get a 2 draw as well as get arrested Dawn onto leader. Now we're gonna see a 7k swing into the face of the blue purple Luffy, which is also pretty nice. He's drawn another 10 cost new gate, which is pretty good as well. So Ace is pretty set up for his 9 Dawn turn later. We're gonna see 2k counter Sanji discarded for Pan-An. And that is going to be 7 Dawn now for him. Remember, EBO3 is not legal today, so there isn't going to be any 7 cost Lin Lin, which could have been a decent addition into this deck, but is not going to be on stream today. 1 second, I need to do more admin stuff. Doom.
そうで、まあでもこれボンクレプリンでも別に強いは強いですけど、
Okay.
その相手の手札がそこまで整ってないのはもちろんわからないし、枚数的には9枚とかですね。結構今。
Where are we? Okay, we're back. Okay, just doing a quick count of the hand cards and everything as well. Ace is on 9 hand total, I believe. While Blue Purple is at 7 right now. Before he uses his Bomb Clay, he might leave 2 down open for just to scam a Thunder Bagua, but I don't think that's really necessary at this point. Ace is still countering out very heavily, really doesn't want to get hit by pudding if possible, I think. So despite this being a 2 card counter, he is going to use the Tax Beard and a 6 cost Uta as the counter for this 8k swing. Here's the Bomb Clay now, putting Pan-An up to 8 Dawn already, which is where you want to be as Blue Purple Luffy. I think we're all familiar with this deck for sure. Here is the draw for Mumu now on the Ace and not the Emu. He does not have a play this turn. There's no Jozu or Yamato or anything, but there is a 4 cost Mako which you can just place down on the board, leave it there to draw more cards for him later, which might be the choice here. That means he does have 3 Dawn left over to play with, meaning we might see something like a 6k 8k, 6k 9k or a 7k 8k. And either way, he's playing into different events. 7k 8k plays into Gear second, whereas 6k 9k plays a bit more into Thunder Bagua. Here's the Otama instead though, so we're going to cycle a little bit more. He finds a 1 cost Vista, so another blocker, which is really good. This card's a 10 cost new gate off of that search, which means that he... Does he have a second one in hand? He draws into the 1-cost V-Star, which is pretty nice though, so we'll be able to use that as a blocker. We'll go for a 6k swing first with the Yamato on board already, getting another 1k counter out of Pan An's hand, which will be answered with a 5-cost Nami. Let's see what the remaining 6 Dawn is going to be used for. It does look like there is another 10-cost Newgate in Mumu's hand, so pretty liberally discarding all of his top end here. He will be going for just a 7k swing with his leader, which means we're probably going to see both the Mako and the V-Star appear on the board this turn. And this swing is going to be countered by the 1-cost gear second, putting Pan An still pretty safe. 2 life is basically where you want to be. Here's the 4-cost Mako, here's the 1-cost V-Star, both of Whitebeard's commanders making their way onto the board before their Oyaji comes down the following turn. Now let's look at the top 5 for Pan An. There's no 9-cost Sanji it looks like, but there is an 8-cost Roger, so unfortunately you won't be able to develop 2 ways, but does have a couple of options. Otherwise, there is going to be that 5-cost Nami taken off of the top 5. I did see 2 Thunder Bagwas as well, so quite a lot of defensive options as well. Here he is going to draw into the Otama now. Will go up to 10 Dawn, which means this 8-cost Roger is now active, can put Pan An at 8k base of a leader, which is going to be very difficult to push through, as most people are aware. The red blue ace is also playing 9-cost Newgate nowadays, which will again similarly put him at that 8k base. Now we're gonna see +2 to the blue purple Luffy leader. He is going to punch his brother in the face for 8, or maybe he's going into Yamato instead. The friends made on the land of Wano. It is going to be 1 more Dawn attached to the leader of Pan An, so we might see a 9k swing here instead, and that is going to be the case into the face of Mumu. This will let him draw an additional card. He does have a Dawn on leader already. Will get 1 damage and then draw an additional card into hand, putting it up to 6. Draws into a Yamato and a 6-cost Uta as well. So no more top end after this 10-cost Newgate that's about to come down. But let's see what he finds. It's going to be another, I believe that's another 10-cost Newgate in the hand of Mumu. So he does have a second one already. Great foresight to clear some of these other 10 costs in hand a little bit earlier in the game, which leaves him with a relatively clean hand right now. That is going to be one of the key skills that you need to develop while playing Ace, which is knowing when to not hold too many non-counter cards in your hand, and Mumu has done that really well. Now, with 9 Dawn, he can go for that 8-cost I Am Whitebeard event and make Whitebeard himself appear on the board, which would be a really good play. He is considering some of his other options as well. He does have a couple of Uta blockers which he can use as defensive options. Now, let's remember that Bon Clay is on the board for Pan An, so once that 8-cost does appear on the board, it is going to make these Bon Clays come in for 12k each. Here is an 8k swing. Oh, I was watching the Ado stream yesterday, so please forgive me. That is going to be an 8k swing from this 5-cost Yamato, so we're going to go for aggro this turn instead. Here it is countered out by the 5-cost Nami, and we're going to see another 5-cost Yamato, it looks like, for Mumu, building his hand size even further with that 5-cost draw 2 cards. Here it is +2 for him again, +1 technically, since he did play the Yamato from hand. 1 rested Dawn onto the leader Ace. 1 more Dawn will make it an 8k swing, and he does still have 1 Dawn open, can use it for that garb that he just drew into, or maybe something else. It is just going to be an 8k swing here, 1k counter. That will be his 3rd Nami though, which will leave Pan An low on blockers for the late game if he does discard it here. Let's see what that decision is going to be. He can always just drop this Otama instead as well, over counter a little bit since he's in no danger of any further swings this turn. That might be the decision. It is going to be the Otama as the counter. Really wants to save that 5-cost Nami for later, as a blocker is going to replace this 1-cost Otama of his own on the board with a 1-cost Garb, calling his grandfather to look for his real father now. The 9 cost Newgate, 10 cost Newgate is not there, but there is a 10 cost Roger. He finds his birth father instead, and he will have that as an option to break through any blockers that Pan An plays later in the game, and Roger does make it on to the hand of Mumu. Now it is going to Pan An's turn again. We have the 10 cost Roger to match the 8 cost Roger of Pan An. And we saw earlier that Pan An had another 8 cost Roger at the top of his deck, but is there a 9 cost Sanchi to go alongside it? There is not, but there is Douglas Bullet, and he is going to be able to use that to rest many of the characters on the board of Mumu, especially those 4 cost Marcos, which is going to be really important. However, the unfortunate reality here is that there's not a single Straw Hat type card in the top 5 here, which means that Pan An isn't going to be able to draw an additional card, which is going to be really painful for him, since he's been forced to burn so many in the previous turn. What is going to be the play here though? He will most likely have to just grab the 8 cost Roger to have a play this turn. But I think next turn, Gum Gum Giant is most likely going to have to be played in order to help him to cycle out the 4 non-Straw Hat type cards on the top of his deck. Now we're going to the turn of Pan An again. It is going to be that 8 cost Roger played most likely. If not, it could also be the 5 cost Nami plus the 4 cost Pudding as well. First, we're going to swing with the 8 cost Roger and try and see whether Mumu is going to block here. If he blocks with the Marco, draws 3 cards, he's going to get a huge Pudding into his hand. That's going to be -5, I believe. He's currently at 8. Drawing 3 with Marco would put him at 11. -6 from that 4 cost Pudding. So instead, hits up blocks with the V-Star instead, not drawing additional cards just yet, forcing more swings from Pan An first. It is going to be the 8 cost Roger now though. There it is on the board. He says, "Hi AC boy, it is your daddy," and here he is, plus 2k to Pan An's leader again, now 8k base. Will be able to force another 3k counter out of Mumu, or even force him to take a life here, which could be great as well. Instead, we're just going to see him go for a 9k swing with the leader with 1 Dawn attached after the 8 cost Roger. Instead, it's actually going to be just an 8k swing, just content with burning leader effect plus 1k counter instead of leader effect plus 2k counter as well. Wants to play around drawing another counter if possible. Mumu again discarding another one of his 10 cost Newgate, saying, "I don't need you just yet, and I already have 1, and I think that's enough for this matchup." We'll leave it at that. Then Pan An passing over with 2 cards in hand. I wonder if Mumu will finally be playing his 10 cost Newgate this turn or not, because he's been really disciplined, not wanting to give Pan An those free 12k swings with that Bon Clay on the board. Similarly, if he plays the Roger down, it will be 13k swings instead, and that's going to be very scary as well. Let's see how Mumu plays out this turn, but he does finally have a Jozu. He can use that to get rid of at least one of these Bon Clays, make it a little bit less painful for him once he eventually does drop down that Newgate. And not only that, he will develop a 7k body, which is pretty nice, plus also lets him get rid of one of the Bon Clays, which will be really important. One less 12k swing is going to be very crucial in this matchup. Pan An now sitting at a very nice 8k base, but only 3 cards in hand after missing on his leader effect last turn. Let's see if he's going to be able to find more pieces here. So we're going to see him actually just go for more attacks here. 8k swing now into leader with the leader as well. Just 1k counter will be enough for this, but Pan An is going to choose to take. Invites another 8 cost Roger. We've got another daddy in the house. We're gonna see another 8k base turn for Pan An next turn, before maybe playing out that Douglas Bullet we saw him pick up earlier. Let's see how the remaining Dawn is going to be used. He can attach more to this next Yamato. It's just going to be another 8k swing though. 1 Dawn for Gum Gum Giant will be very irritating to use right here, because with the remaining 6 Dawn, we could maybe even force Pan An down to 0. But since we've already seen the Roger taken off of the search, maybe we're willing to part with this 5 cost Nami now. Both players seem to be really aware of how to play the matchup. So let's see what is going to be the play. Pan is going to use the putting out as counter as much as he wants to hold on to it really much. Mumu is playing around it so well. Here is the Jozu now bouncing one of those bonk clays. Mumu is playing super low to the ground. He's not going to use any of these 10 costs just yet. Was he able to find a straw hat? There is a 9 cost Sanji, and he can use that to play into the bullet as well, which will give Pan An finally something to play even wider now. Now he's saying, okay, that's fine, even if you've bounced my bonk clay, now I'm gonna develop a 10k body beside my Sanji. I think that's good enough. Happily, that last card off the top of that deck is a Straw Hat Crew type card, so is able to find an additional card in hand this turn, which is really nice. He is also able to draw into another card, like one of those Thunder Bargos, which he can use as discard fodder for the Gangam Giant before drawing into this Otama off of that draw too. However, I think Panan is also aware with the number of attacks on the board, he is going to lose quite a bit of hand the following turn. So even playing this Sanji could be a little bit scary for him. But let's see what he left at the top. Will it be that 9 cost Sanji into the Douglas Bullet this turn? So we're going to see him draw 4 turn now. And it is going to be the Otama put into his hand. He does already have no counter cards in hand in the form of that 8 cost Roger. So doesn't need to add one of the Thunder Bargos into hand just yet. Can also use them the following turn after using the after using Douglas Bullet's effect to regain those Dawn. Using 2 Thunder Bargos, for example, will set him back to 10. So we're firstly going to see the 8 cost Roger turn sideways, 10k swing into the face of his son. His face that he's never seen after being born posthumously for Mr. Gold D. Roger, King of the Pirates. It is going to be 2k counter using Ace's leader effect. I am Whitebeard is discarded, 2k with the 6 cost Uta, 1k with a Garp as well, protecting his grandson that was entrusted to him by Roger himself. He says, "What are you doing? You leave me this kid and now you punch him." And here it is, 4 cards in hand now for Mumu. He really doesn't want to get puddinged. He's playing around it expertly. One more swing now from another 8 cost Roger, 10k into the face of the red blue ace is going to be 5k counter, and Mumu just does not have that right now. Going to take it, draws another card off of the ace leader effect as well. Does get another 10 cost Newgate, which he has still not played a single one of this game. He will now play another 8 cost Roger. It is a triple threat 8k base leader for the side of Pan An. He is going to have this leader swing now, 8k again into the face of Mumu. 3k counter again will be enough. No leader effect available for him though this time. But Mumu is not playing Ace right now, he's playing Zoro or something. He's just got so many characters on board, going for really wide swings instead because of this Bond Clay, forcing him to not play down his father, the 12k power Newgate. Pana now going to pass turn over with 2 active Dawn. He does not need the 9 cost Sanji, he's just going to play his idol, the man he wants to be, the king of the pirates, Gold Roger, and unknowingly he's also going to be using that to try and finish off the game for him next turn. With 3 10k swings is going to be very dangerous for Mumu. Similarly, Pan An knows that because of this one Bond Clay, Mumu can't play his 10 cost Newgates down, and he is super worried about that. Mumu though what are his options now. He does have 2 of the 6 cost Uta available. Putting 3 down on Jozo will make it 10k and give him the discount on these Utas as well, which could be what he needs to stay alive, turning those 2ks into 5k counter by using them to block the swing of the 10k Roger. This could be a pretty big thing. However, it is going to be the Yamato instead. Again, drawing 2 cards. Still no 10 cost Newgate on the board for the side of Mumu. And you must be thinking at this point, maybe we should have just let those 2 swing 12k twice, because then at least we would have the Newgates on the board. But no, Mumu still hasn't chosen to play them down yet. He must know that in the matchup it's better to play it this way still. He does have an Atmos also available, so he can return that Bonclay 2 hand, finally putting an end to the threat of Mr. 2 Bonclay to Pan An. And Mumu can, of course, use that Atmos to return Bonclay by showing 2 Whitebeard Pirate type cards in his hand, which he does have right now. But let's see what the option is going to be here. Looks like he's going to consider attaching 3 Dawn, but it's not. It's going to be 1 to face 8k swing into the leader of Pan An. Will discard with that Bonclay that returned to his hand the previous turn from Mumu's Jozu. Now 8k swing from that Jozu himself. 1k counter again will be enough. Otama or the Nami will be a good way to stop it. Pan An again holding on to this Gum Gum Giant for very, very long so far. Another 8k swing now from the 5 cost Yamato is going to be Gum Gum Giant this time finally. Maybe it is 1 cost Gum Gum Giant, Dawn -2, discard 1 card, and then we're going to draw 2 cards. Pan An is finally able to cycle out some of the cards in the top of his deck and hopefully be able to hit more Straw Hats. Now it is 1 cost Garb, looking for more options again for Mumu on the ace. He still hasn't been able to really establish anything too special. There is a 2k Jozu which can be used, as well as the 6 cost Jozu as well, currently not super useful. There is going to be 2k added to the hand of Mumu, so happy to upgrade his 1k into a 2k card now. 8 cards in hand. Can he survive the onslaught of his father? Gold D Roger, another Douglas Bullet is found. There is also the Gum Gum Red Rock and a Zoro Jiro. 1k counter or a way to do some removal. He is also finding another Douglas Bullet in that top 5. May want to actually send all of these cards to the bottom instead. Does not have a Gum Gum Giant or anything like that, so will indeed be sending the remaining 4 cards to the bottom. Will top deck into a 4 cost Charlotte Pudding. He has found an insane card off of the top here, and if Mumu isn't careful, he can lose everything in his hand, everything that he's built. We're not even gonna think, it's just gonna be Pudding right away. They're both laughing about it. They know, oh, that's a bad beat and unfortunate for Mumu, but he does get his hand shuffled into the rest of his deck. Will now draw 5 completely new cards. Are there gonna be enough counter full cards in this hand of 5? Let's see really quickly, what is it going to be? There's quite a bit. There's 2 searchers, there's a 10 cost, a 9 cost, a Uta. We're gonna see Red Rock now played onto the 4 cost Marco, putting it to the bottom of the deck. Now we're gonna see everything turn sideways, I believe. Here's a 7k swing from the Mr. 2 Bonclay, copying the 6 cost Diamond Jozu. We're gonna get a big 2k counter swing needed from this Bonclay. We haven't been able to force out the 12k swing yet, however it is still enough. 6k swing from the leader now. 1k counter with Garb. Granddaddy is gonna protect you, but he can't protect you enough. Here's another 10k swing. Leader gets to draw another card. 10k swing now again from Roger. He needs 5k counter. Leader effect +2/+1 will do it. He does not have enough. It looks like it is going to be game. Pan An takes the game off of the top deck. Charlotte Pudding totally blind. Oh my gosh. This card is so balanced. My goodness. And that is going to be game for Pan An on the blue purple Luffy. Wow. Back to back 8k base by Pan An with 3 8 cost promo Rogers. He's gone absolutely high defenses, and despite everything Mumu was not able to match him on board because he was too afraid to play down the 10 cost 12k power Newgate. As much as it's a blocker, being forced to take 10 12 12 on the following turn I think was too scary of a proposition. But that also meant that he was never able to develop board enough to have an attacker significant enough to deal with this 8k base from the side of Pana, and he also didn't have that 12k blocker to help to protect him from the 10k swings of Goldie Roger. And unfortunately, it looks like we've proven that the birth father has done a little bit better in this matchup than the new found father. And of course, we can't understate the power of that 4 cost pudding. He's really just used that to reset the entire hand from Mumu, and that was more than enough to take the game with 3 Goldie Rogers already on the board. Now let's talk about some reviews, guys. Oh man, okay. Caster mode is off, we're chill. Jinbei! Activate main. Discard 1 card from your hand. You may attach 2 Rested Dawn to one of your Fishman or Merfolk type leaders or characters. Not once per turn, by the way, so discard 5 is attach 5 Rested Dawn. Pretty interesting, pretty interesting. I mean, I could translate this, but I think they've already translated this. So, yeah. This is, I don't know, I think you need to see the support. He doesn't have Straw Hat Crew. He just has Warlords, Sun Pirates, Fishmen. There's no blue Fishman support right now, so it's pretty interesting that they made him mono blue. But I guess he can use things like 4 cost Law, which is pretty good. Man, but this means that most of the reviews were real. The last one's Croc! Croc is here! All of your opponent's characters cannot be removed by the effects of your effects. Then activate main once per turn. KO one of your own Baroque Works type characters. One of your opponent's characters has cost -10. Then you mill 2. So it's weird. It's weird. I don't really know how to build him. He'll probably be like one of the emu kind of leaders where the entire deck is built for you in the set. But I don't know. I'm not sure about this leader for real. It's kind of weird. Like, I mean, we can only speculate, right? The only things that you can kind of do with this leader right now are like 5 cost Smoker from the starter deck, and I guess you can do the 6 cost Smoker? 6 cost Smoker from the starter deck as well. So you can lock multiple characters, but I don't know. I don't think it's that good, unless they give like really good support. Like I assume like locking based effects would be good, because the Zala, Miss Double Finger, and the Miss Valentine from EBO3, they're not that good. So I don't foresee them being like too powerful. But yeah, the art is alright though. It's just the anime screenshot. But the anime is great. So I mean, this is a pretty updated one. It's not like when Croc first appeared in 2007 or something like that. Ooh, let's go. Kairyu Ipponzeyoi. The upstream current push thingy. Rest 3 of your Dawn. Play a 3 cost or less Fishman type character card from your hand. Then you may return a original cost of 6k power or less to the hand of your or to its owner's hand. So pretty interesting. But it's 5 cost. 5 cost to play a 3 cost then bounce 6k. Maybe there'll be like power based stuff. Oh, you know who this is good for? This is good for Marco. If they release a fishman that reduces power, this is really good for Marco. Because I'm not sure. No, you have to resolve the whole event first before you use the on play of the fishman, right? But, it's meh. 5 cost to play a 3 cost. I guess essentially you're paying 2 to bounce a 6k, but bouncing is pretty mid. Like, yeah, it's weird. But I like that it's like lore accurate, right? Ooh, okay. Gurando des. 1 cost. Modal event rest who? 5 or less. Oh, negate effect. Ooh, okay. If your trash has 10 or more, leader or character plus 4. Hey, this is just shittier never existed, huh? Yeah, because Croc has to have 10 cards in trash, but Emu can just have 4k all the time, so that's valid. Okay, so I guess his effects will revolve around negation? Okay, but your negation doesn't make you able to remove effects yet. So as in, like, you can't negate your own leader effect with this card, so it's weird. Yeah, you can finally play Jerry in this deck, bro. I'm so happy for you. You got the best shit ever. But I don't know, this is so weird. It's such a weird angle to take Crocodile. Because his leader effect is, I don't know, man. Like, oh, by the way, this is what's the word? Generic card. You can play this in Emu. It's a 1 cost event, so you can play this in Emu. So you can use this to negate Marco blocker, Valkyrie in the mirror. Wow, actually it's pretty good, eh? This event, Grand Death. Oh my god. 3 cost black hole. The 3 cost black hole is pretty strong. I mean, it doesn't KO the thing, but it negates its effect, so that's pretty good. 5 cost though means it doesn't hit 6 cost Uta still. But that's probably enough, not gonna lie. Like, just getting rid of Marco is probably enough for endgame states. But we'll see. What, plus 4? Plus 4? This is gonna be crazy. This card's gonna be crazy. Yeah, Emu can play the Grand Death card, which is pretty good. I don't think they will play anything else. On the 30th of October, there's gonna be a 1P Kado Johyo Kyoku with more reveals for OP14. So that's gonna be cool. Until then, we're just gonna be being chilling. But there's still gonna be 2 more games today, so you can expect at least 1 more set of reveals. I don't think they usually reveal after the finals, but I could be wrong. But still pretty nice. Maybe they will reveal Law and who's left? Law and Moria. Yeah, maybe they'll reveal Law and Moria after this. That could be interesting. Yes. Alright, so we're gonna be waiting on their One Piece Information Bureau on the 30th. But until then, we do have info on the top 4 for today. Let's see who it is. It is Bonnie! Blue, Purple, Luffy, Bonnie, and 2 aces. Bonnie is going crazy! The Bonnie is still full win. That's wild. Okay, I watched the Bonnie game, but I was in the train, so I couldn't stream it just yet. But pretty cool that they've made it so far. Now there is Ace and Luffy as well. The Blue Purple Luffy, which we just saw, Pan Pan, and Red Blue Aces, 2 of them. I wonder what the matchup is going to be like though. Would be pretty interesting to see. Blue Purple Luffy never die, that's true. And he now has support in the EBO3 set as well. So on the going first 6th Dawn turn, he can Isuka the 4-cost Mako, which will be kind of nasty. Not going to lie. Other than that, he has the new Lin Lin as well, which is a pretty sticky ramper, which is not bad. So let's see what else is going to happen today, chat. We have 2 more games of One Piece. What is it going to be? And wow, because the games are taking so long, there's not really any breaks in between like the reviews and the next game. We're seeing Red Blue Ace and who's this guy? He lost. Okay, this guy lost the Janken, so he's probably going first. I don't remember the other guy. Is he the Bonnie or is it a mirror? Watching a mirror. It is a mirror. It looks like it is going to be Red Blue Ace mirror for the semifinals, which means we are guaranteed a Red Blue Ace in the finals as well. No emus in the top 4. It is going to be a interesting mirror for sure. Here is the first player's turn. He didn't mulligan. Second player is mulliganing though. First player drew into Yamato, which is nice. He has Atmos as well. Pretty good starting hand for the first player. Otama, Yamato, Atmos, and he has 8-cost event as well. I think that's definitely a keep. That's really nice. Now let's take a look at what the second player drew into. He did mulligan, so really hoping for something good here. But first player is definitely really happy to see a hand like this. Jeez, that is a crazy starting hand going first. But on going first in the mirror, you are on quite a back foot already, so I wonder if this is enough to pull him back into the game. Of course, you also want to see a pudding if possible. Now looking at the second player's hand, he does have a Garp, so no Marco to use for that 4-on turn, but he does also have a Jozu and a V-Star, which is nice, and then 8-cost event plus 9-cost new gate. So would have preferred the 10-cost here, but cheating that out 1 turn earlier is still pretty okay. Can hopefully fix his hand with Garp next turn, but if he picks up a Marco and it gets bounced by Atmos, that's gonna be pretty rough for him as well. So let's go into the semi-finals, baby. Fukuoka Championship 25-26 Season 2 Area Final. We're looking at Bon versus Anthony. Here is the Otama. Now, draw through this card 1 from turn 1, the card that got Blue Nami banned. Picks up 2 more 2k counters in Otama and a Jozu, and will be discarding that 4-cost Jozu here. So there it is, sent to the trash right away. Anthony now 2-on turn draws into Izo, so can use that instead of the Garp, and it will be the Izo here. 5 cards into his deck. Will there be a 4-cost Marco? There is not, but there is a 10-cost Newgate, which is still pretty good. Now has an option on his 8-on turn of which Newgate to play. Anthony here can use the Garp as well to look for even more cards, but instead we'll just attach 1 Don to Leader to draw an additional card if Bon goes for a big swing into his face, and that is most likely going to be the play because Ace doesn't really have much options for 3-cost plays. There is going to be another Otama play down though, will allow him to search even more into his deck, draws 2, discards 1. So let's see what he picks up. Top deck was the Red Rock, now sees a Tax Beard and a Blocker Beard, will discard the Tax Beard. 1 Don now attached to leader. 1 more Don available. Can go for a 7k or an 8k swing, or he can choose to not swing at all as well, which could be a decent option. It is going to be either or. He's just doing a bit of a count first and then deciding after that. It's gonna be a full pass, not gonna let Anthony draw an additional card, as well as see that life 2, no mulligan plus no no search into the 4-cost Marco, so pretty rough for Anthony here. He is going to attach 2 to leader, go for an 8k swing into the face of Bone, who will take this life gladly, draws another card as well. This also means that he does not need to use the Atmos next turn. He can just go for the Yamato. Here he is now going to see the Garp using that to search for cards. We're going to see the Atmos of his own, but it is just going to be a blocker Newgate taken instead for the search of this Garp as well. Another Otama also seen, plus another I Am Whitebeard event. 1 more Dawn open. Is it going to be the V-Star blocker placed early? It is. It looks like. Now we're going back to the turn of Bone. He can use the Atmos to bounce this V-Star, but that's kind of low value. Might be better to just go for the Yamato here, draw a bit more cards, and it is going to be hovered. It is going to be played. 5-cost Yamato. 2 cards drawn, 2 hand for Bond. Now 1 rested Dawn to his leader. We'll go for a cheeky 7k swing into Anthony this turn now. Already didn't let him draw into 4-cost Marco on the 4 Dawn turn, so pretty happy with that. 9-cost Newgate is discarded for Anthony to use as counter for the leader effect. Now it is going to be Anthony's turn. 6 Dawn. He does have Jozu available, so might just use that to bounce this Yamato. 6k swing now into the face of Bond. 1k counter is required to stop this swing, or he can just use his leader effect to prevent it. Anthony is going to play that Jozu this turn, most likely returning this Izo or Garp to the hand of Anthony. There is gonna be the Jozu now. Garp is the target and Yamato is the card returned to the hand of Bone. Bone now has quite a large hand size, so kind of vulnerable to a pudding. We're gonna see another Jozu drawn off the top deck for Bone. Doesn't need a second one, but will be happy to play his first. Now 6k swing into the leader of Anthony. It is going to be 1k counter off of this again, still staying at 3 life so far. He is going to go for a 6-cost Jozu now, returns 1 of his Otamas to hand and Anthony's Jozu as well. Now 1 more Dawn available. Is it going to be another search? It is. There is the 1-cost guard. We're looking for more options for the 9 Dawn turn. There is already the I Am Newgate, I Am Whitebeard event in hand, and looking at the top 4, he sees 2 4-cost Marcos and another blocker Newgate. 1 more blocker Newgate could be a decent pickup, but if he sends these 2 blocker Marcos down, he may not see multiple copies later, which is going to be quite crucial. So he will pass over now to Anthony, who will have his 8 Dawn turn with I Am Whitebeard and then his 10-cost blocker beard, making it to the board first. He is going to pay 8, not take 1 of his life to go up to 8k base, and then buff draw to discard 1 off of the effect of this 10-cost Newgate. Once he's done that, he can attach 2 rested Dawn to his leader and 1 of his characters, none of which can really attack right now, so it's just going to attach to the Izo for fun. We'll have 2 Dawn attached on leader. 8k swing now, leader effect plus 1k will do the trick. What is going to be discarded here by Bone? It looks like Yamato and Otama are the options, or Yamato and the Jozu could be the play as well, turning 1 of those 1ks into a 2k. There's not that many non-counter cards for Bond, so not too pressed right now, but actually Bond has the option to just red rock this 10-cost Newgate and put himself in a pretty decent position. He is still going to be on the back foot, but at the very least next turn won't need to eat a 12k swing. Let's see what the option is for counter from Bond. He won't need to use that Jozu or Yamato again, most likely, so at least one of them is going to be discarded. It is going to be Yamato plus something that I can't see right now. It is going to be a blocker beard actually on top of the on top of the Yamato as well, reducing counterless in hand as much as possible. Reminder to wake up your leader at the start of your turn. Refresh phase. Looks like 6 Dawn is going to be hovered for Bond. Is it going to be that Red Rock now? It is 6 cost. Gum Red Rock sends Newgate to the bottom of the deck of Anthony, and we're going to see 3 Dawn left over for Bond. Does he have more options to play? There's no other searcher, so maybe we're just going to see 7k swing here instead with that Jozu, leaving 3 Dawn active still. Can be a 8k swing plus one of those Otamas maybe. We're going to see Anthony counter with his leader effect. Looks like the Garp is going to be the choice. Instead, first he's going to use Izo's effect to draw one and put one card to the bottom of his deck. Just sees another Garp here as well, which isn't that great. It is going to be one card to the bottom. It is going to be that Garp that he just drew. Now counters out with the Garp for 2k. It is going to be an Otama. Looking even deeper into his deck, Bond is really filtering his deck really well. Here is a 10 cost Roger now drawn for him, going first in the mirror. Discards that 4 cost Mako he picked up in the previous turn, getting rid of some more counterless cards in the deck. Now he does not have another Jozu to return these 2 Otamas on board to his hand, but that could be a good play later in the game. Now 7k swing from leader into the leader of Anthony as well. This is going to be 2k counter, but Anthony does not have it and will have to pay 2 1ks if he does not want to take this life, as he has already used his leader's effect. It is going to be a take for Anthony now. He takes and draws another card. There's another Otama for Bond. He's really digging in his deck. I wonder what he's looking for. Maybe it's the 4 cost Charlotte Pudding. He's discarded another Tax Newgate and now passing back the turn over to Anthony, who can play that 10 cost Newgate or even this 9 cost Newgate down on the board as well. But Bond has actually placed 6k counter on his board, which is a really interesting strategy as well. Now, going back to Anthony's turn, will it just be the blocker Newgate here? It is going to be 8 cost event actually. 8 cost to play the 10 cost Newgate, which leaves him 2 active Dawn. Does he have an Uta to play? He does. So it might be an Uta alongside this 10 cost Newgate as well. First, let's resolve the draw 2, discard 1. There is a Yamato sent to the trash now. 2 rested Dawn on the leader and V-Star as well. Putting V-Star at 3k power. Isn't going to be swinging into anything just yet. First, we're going to see an 8k swing into the leader of Bond. He does have the Radical Beam, but doesn't have any Dawn up. What is he going to counter with? He does have that Yamato that we saw him draw into earlier. He can also drop a non-counter for his leader effect. So far, Bond hasn't really made that much progress on the board unless you count the 3 Otama. So let's see what Bond ends up discarding here. He looks like he's gonna get rid of that 10 cost Roger. Leader effect does discard 10 cost Roger, then 1k with the Yamato. 2 Dawn is not gonna be 2 Dawn. He's gonna use Iso to search as well as the Garp. Looks like he wants to find a play for next turn. Another 10 cost Newgate of course would be ideal. He does have 4 cost Mako instead, so could be picking that up instead as well. Atmos is also an option, so is Jozu. I think it is going to be the Mako though, so we'll pick up that first 4 cost Mako, and now we have another 1 cost Garp to search for another 3 cost or higher card, and it is gonna be the Red Rock available for him now, so he can use that to get rid of Bond's 10 cost Newgate as well, or he also can pick up this 10 cost Roger, so both pretty decent options here moving into the following turn. So 6 cost Red Rock is going to be the choice of this Garp Searcher. And that is going to be, of course, something Bond is gonna have to be worried about. If he does play that 10 cost Newgate this turn, it is going to be answered with the Red Rock next turn. But he doesn't have his own Red Rock to answer this 10 cost Newgate either. So what is going to be the correct play here? Has not... Is he going for a 6k swing here, or has he not stood up his leader? Well, Anthony looks like he's countering, so I think they are probably... He's just going for a 6k swing here? That's pretty interesting. So he's not going for the Newgate again this turn. So we're replacing the Otama with Jozu? We're gonna Jozu both of these Otamas back to hand. Otama and the guard back to hand. And then now we're gonna play Marco and just pass like this. So Bon is again not playing down any of his 10 cost Newgates. Has discarded most of them up to this point. He's already discarded, I believe, 3 different 10 cost Newgates. And Anthony is just gonna keep putting gas on the brakes. I think he has another 9 cost Newgate in hand. He does, so he can just play that and go to 8k base next turn and negate the effects of all of those wide bodies on the board of Bon. Alternatively, he can also just Jozu, Bon's Jozu and play a Mako, which could be really good as well, and that is going to be the case here. Is the Jozu now returning either the Jozu or the Mako? It is going to be the Mako return to the hand instead. 4 Dawn open still. He can go for several big swings here. 8k swing now with leader, 3k counter required, and there's still 2 active Dawn, so we might see a search plus a 8k swing from this Jozu, and then there is still 12k swing from this 10 cost to worry about. So this is definitely a pretty scary situation for Bon. He already was forced to go first in this mirror where the dice roll is so important, or the Janken in this case. And remember, there's this Vista on the board, which is going to be very irritating for Bon to deal with as well. Ace doesn't really have good answers for small blockers that 4 cost Mako return to and immediately use to counter out with the leader effect. Now 2 Dawn remaining for Anthony. He can go for 9k swing instead. It's going to be a 12k swing into the leader of Bon. Now instead of the 2 Dawn on the Jozo, it's just going to be another Uta on the board. So a blocker now developed for Anthony. He has 2 blockers already, and Bon is just in a little bit of a predicament. The only thing he has on board right now are these 2 Jozus, and he isn't able to play any of these 10 cost Newgates just yet. However, he was able to draw into a Red Rock, so that could be one way for him to stay alive. He does also have the 8 cost event, can go up to 8k base as well. What is going to be the play? He doesn't have another 4 cost Mako. He doesn't have blockers available to him right now, so next turn he has to guard with just hand cards. However, at the very least, he does have that Radical Beam available to him, so he can use the 8 cost event and leave 1 Dawn up for the Radical Beam. Still, what is Bon going to do? Quite a couple of options this turn. Again, still hasn't played that 10 cost yet, just worried about the Red Rock being too good of a play. We're instead going to see the Jozu's turn sideways first. The Izzo's effect is gonna go off 1 draw, 1 card sent to the bottom. Another 4 cost Mako drawn for Anthony, who will put that straight down to the bottom. Now, how does he respond to the 7k swing? Just needs to discard 1 card for that leader effect. He does also have 2k Uta, which he can remove. So we're seeing just what is the consideration. 9 cost Newgate is discarded for the leader effect. How come Jozo swing 8k, bro? I don't know. Here is the 7k swing from the second Jozu, so it looks like Bond is not going to be playing a 10 cost this turn. Still, we're going to remove board again. Forcing now a 2k counter out of Anthony. That Uta is going to be discarded for 2k counter. Now Red Rock might be the play here. 6 Dawn is picked up by Bond. Can use that to get rid of this 10 cost Newgate. What is going to be the option? First, we're going to guard first to look for more cards. For top 4 search, Atmos and Blocker Newgate and I Am Whitebeard are the option. It is going to be Atmos instead of the Blocker Newgate. We're not looking for the 10 cost, we just want more counter options. 9 Dawn left, 1 Dawn now attached to the leader of Bond. We're forcing 2Ks out again. There isn't any more though for Anthony. Only 4 cards in hand and not a single one is a 2K. He can take a life here, go down to 1, but is that going to be good for him? We don't know. The Red Rock has done a lot of work for Bond so far, getting rid of one of those Newgates. And he will block this 7k swing with Vista, which is amazing for Bond. What a result. He forces a block on a 2k counter attack. And now we're gonna see guard played again for Bond. Again, looking deeper into his deck, finding more options, finding more counter. The Charlotte Pudding is found, but instead is gonna pick up the 2k counter in the Uta. So still very healthy in terms of the amount of counter in hand for Bond. And this is, again, just like last game, we're seeing the ace forced into playing just like a very different deck. Instead of chaining 10 back to back, you're seeing lots of wide swings instead, which is definitely a novel way to play the deck, and maybe the way they've been practicing how to win going first, which is a very cool new way to play the deck with one of the best 6 costs in the game, that 6 cost Jozu. And there it is, 10 cost Newgate for Anthony. We'll just use its effect, draw 2, discard 1. A 4 cost Mako is put into the trash, 2 rested Dawn on each of the leader and this 6 cost Jozu. Now we're gonna see 2 big strings into the face, I believe, of Bond. This is 3k counter now, leader effect plus 1 again will do the trick. And remember, Anthony is still holding on to this Red Rock as well, so Bond still isn't going to be playing his 10 cost Newgate. But maybe he can play something like his 10 cost Roger instead. Here is Radical Beam used to counter out of the 9k swing, and I believe he also countered out with the Atmos and another card. It looks like it was not the Blocker Newgate or the Roger, so not entirely sure what the card was that was countered. Now 7k swing from the Atmos again. Bond is just bashing Anthony over and over again with 7k swing, 7k blocked with the Newgate. Here is the Newgate event now. He is going to play the event, puts the card in the wrong zone real quick, but is going to fix that real quick. 10 cost Newgate now, draw 2, discard 1, finally makes his way onto the board for Bond. He is going to get some value out of this with a 8k and a 9k swing. First discarding a Yamato, now 2 cards, 2 Dawn cards on the leader, 2 Dawn cards on the Jozu. Will go for a 8k and a 9k swing now into Anthony, where he doesn't have his Blocker Newgate available anymore, forced to block a 7k swing earlier. Now leader effect plus 1 will get him out of this 8k swing, but not out of the 9k swing that comes after, and that means we're gonna see Anthony drop to 1 life finally. Now Jozu and Garp are discarded for that effect. 9k swing now into the face of Anthony, wants to put him to 1 if possible, but does not. Instead it is gonna be blocked by the 6 cost Uta. Now Bond might answer with a 6 cost Uta of his own onto the board. He's just looking through his trash real quick, confirming what he has seen or found so far. Replaces the Otama into the trash, and now we are going to finally see Bond have his 10 cost Newgate onto the board, but it might be going away real soon with the Gum Red Rock from Anthony. And you can see Bon has planned this out really well. He's not forced to use any like 10 costs and then immediately having it removed thus far. He's also pushed Anthony down all the way to 4 cards in hand. So this is really good for Anthony. Sorry, really good for Bon so far, even though he's been playing going first. He is pushing Anthony on the ropes. Now, Josu is drawn for Anthony, so he can also play that to remove a Josu instead, but I don't believe that's going to be the case. That's the Gum Gum Red Rock removing Bon's Newgate. Finally, that Gum Gum Red Rock is removed from the hand of Anthony. He's going for a 8k swing now with the Josu. That is going to be 3k counter, leader effect +1. And Anthony is still in a relatively safe position because he does still have 2 life here. And we're most likely going to see him go either 8k swing and then 1 down open for the radical beam, or Uta and then 1 down open for the radical beam. But I'm going to bet that it is probably an 8k swing. Leader effect now for Bon. Thinking of discarding this 10 cost Roger, but I believe that might be the last one in his deck. However, he really can't go to 0 life in this matchup for sure. At the very least, if he does go to 0, his Roger will be active. But he does have to worry. I believe he can't finish the game with just 6, 7, 7, 13 when Anthony is still at 2 life. But he is holding on to the Roger 3k counter now with Otama and Atmos 8k swing from the leader here. And 1 Dawn open. Anthony isn't afraid of lethal. Does Bon have to block this swing? If he blocks, then he's in danger from the 12k swing of this Newgate and won't be able to play around a Gold D Roger. We are confirming cards in hand 3 for Anthony, and Bon can counter out of this, but then he will go to 0 cards in hand. That's not a position you see Red Blue Ace in very often. Let's see what the play is. If this Newgate does come in for 12 into face, we are going to have to see the block. But Bon is going to he takes the life, draws an additional card, and he is going to swing now with the Newgate. It's going to get blocked by that Uta, and we're going to see Bon go for his maybe final turn. Or maybe he's just going to bet that there's not enough, or there's no 10 cost Roger for Anthony. Bon did draw another Uta, so if he puts 3 Dawn on one of these Josus, he will be able to play that blocker for relatively cheap. He is going to spread the Dawn, start hitting into phase 7k plus 1 Dawn. Josu goes in for 8, 1 life is taken. Red Rock is triggerable, but it's not going to be triggered. Now 10k swing from this Josu instead. It is going to be 4 plus 1 to counter out 6 Dawn remaining for Bon. 4 plus 2 plus 1 will be enough, and Anthony does have enough here. Will he take this life just to bait a little bit, or will it be another turn for Bon? Again, Bon can just go for that blocker Mako play here and play safe. If Anthony doesn't counter out of this beam plus 1 though, will be enough for him, and he's holding on to that beam and that 6 cost Josu to answer this. He also is considering holding on to that Josu though. It is going to be life taken. The 10 cost Roger is picked up. So let's go. 12k swing into leader. Now we are hoping that there isn't enough for Anthony, but he does. There is going to be the radical baby now. Play it up to 10k now. Otama and Josu. That is 12k counted out. And it is going to be game for Anthony. The dice roll has proven too powerful for him to overcome. And Bon, despite playing very calculated, very safe the entire game, he just wasn't able to finish with only Josus on the board. Those 2 Josus did so much work, and just unfortunately wasn't enough in this case. That being said, we are going to move into the finals pretty soon. And we're chilling now. We're out of casting mode. I don't know, chat, what do you think? Like in the mirror matchup like that, if like you go first, do you just go Josu like that? Like instead of playing your own 10 cost? Versus blue purple I understand, because you don't want the bomb clay to sing 12. But in the mirror you play like that, man? It's so interesting. It's so interesting that they do it that way. Well, it's gonna be the finals soon. And the stream game actually didn't last that long. I think it was like 25 minutes. Of course you have no idea, Finn. What do you know, huh? Okay, announcement. I don't know what this is. Oh, flagship. Oh, flagship Zoro is serial. Oh, let's go, chat. Let's go. JP serial Zoro. Let's go. I need to tweet this. Oh, we're so back. We are so back, chat. The game is worth money again. Serial Zoro! Yes! January, here I come! Okay, but what's the top 8? What's the top 8 price? Oh, December standard battle price. This is real shit. Fuck everything else. See, Finn, you say you play Zoro, then they review Serial Zoro. Quick, say something else. Oh, McDonald's promo! Yeah, McDonald's promo. McDonald's promo non-foil. Okay, but what's the price card? Show me the price card. Full 32 player flagships again, yay! You think if he can play 2 Red Rock consecutive, he probably can win? Oh, Luffy! Let's go! I think it should have been Nami. It should have been Nami. I don't think we have a Nami yet. Flagship. No, we do with the first one, the 1 cost. Then maybe it should have been Sabo. I think it should have been Sabo. Yeah. Should have been Sabo. Yeah, it's the one that the Westerners have. The Westerners have this art already. Oh, next. 初心者大歓迎。楽しくルールを学んで、ワンピカードをマスターしよう。It's a teaching event. 親子さんがチャンスですよっていうね、イベントでございますが、高橋さん、teaching event for parents and children. Yahoo! Yeah, this is Luffy card game, bro. That's not wrong. Okay, chat. Serial Zoro, thoughts on Serial Zoro flagships? Are we back? Remember to apply for slots on your app, chat. Man, January will be huge.
育て上げますか。
来ました。
パパのリベンジを
親子代々でね、こう果たしていって、
ね
もう見られるかもしれません。はい、こちら開催場所は全国のツタヤとなっておりまして、
Tsutaya bookstore.
までとなっております。
Time to log in and play flagship. Yeah, Finn, sure. As long as you don't play smoker, I think you're
そし
fine.
てなんと当日受付こちらもあるということですので、皆さんぜひ参加してみてください。ということでお知らせは以上でございます。
Okay, what else do we got? Before I need to log in, is there any other information?
チャンピオンシップ2016シーズン2福岡大会制するのはどちらになるのか。
Oh, okay. They're gonna show who's the finalists. Let's go. Green Bonnie! Green Bonnie! Green Bonnie in the finals! Someone tag Noel right now. Someone tag Raftera. I think Bonnie's gonna win, bro. Serial. Go Bonnie, go. Bro, he's so is this, what's his name again? Takuya? So funny, bro. You bring Emu? Let's go. Let's go, Finn. OP14 Emu with Grand Def. Ace vs Bonnie. Hey man, what's up? Nayub 650. Okay, Bonnie left side, Ace right side. They both won on these respective sides, so no side diff here. Oh, let me lock in. Let me lock in, chat. By the way, this Bonnie, I don't think she's playing like any tech to beat Emu. Like, she's not on Uta, I think. I didn't see a single Uta in her searches. And in his searches, then I didn't see a single like like 7 Dofi or anything like that also. So like, I don't know how he beat Emu. Or maybe when we see his matchup spread later, there'll just be 0 Emu. You know, there's always that option. But let's find out. He has got that commitment, EBO2 gold leader Bonnie. And he lost the Junkan. He's going second. Bonnie's going second. Oh my god. He's already winning. He's already favored in this matchup, and now he's winning because he won the dice roll. I see Koshiro available, which is not bad. Here's a 2-don play. What else? Let's look at the hands. I don't think either player has mulliganed just yet. This is going to be a pretty interesting matchup for sure. Bonnie no mulligan is just going to keep their starting hand, and so is the Ace. Ace has Izo, Marco, Yamato, 8-cost event, 2 Izos. So we'll be able to look for options next turn. So pretty decent spots to be in. Look at those Pringly cards. Now, will Bonnie be able to match this hand? Let's find out. Ooh, Carrot! Carrot and a 1-cost Bonnie Searcher as well. So pretty decent here. But is this a keeping hand? Is this a hand you would keep as Bonnie versus Ace? Or is this the mulligan hand? Did I miss it? This does not look like a keep hand. Bro, what? He has 2 carrots and PRVs. Okay, I guess carrot is not bad versus the 5-cost Yamato and the Marco and Jozu also. Like, Jozu will bounce it, but like, you can lock the Jozu afterwards. So I guess that's not too bad, but I thought you would like really want to see like 10-cost Dofi in this matchup. So I'm not too sure, but I'm not a Bonnie player, so don't take my word for it. Now, one Don's turn, we're getting right into it. Ace is going to look at his top 5. Is there going to be I am Newgate, I am Whitebeard? Instead, there is 2 Whitebeard himself. 9 and 10 cost. 10 cost is going to be chosen. I believe Anthony has a 8 cost in hand already, so just go straight for the 10 cost here. Now Kid and Killer drawn off the top, which is great. 2 costs will allow him to look for a Supernova type card, and later on he can trash it to set one Don active. So really good way to just set himself up for success later, especially on those 10 Don turns where he does have to tap out. Plus next turn he would really like to see a Cavendish for 5 at least. On the 4 Don turn, I'm not sure what the Bonnie is gonna do here. He does have Koshiro as an option. He does immediately pick one of the only other options that is gonna be the Cavendish indeed. Anthony just wants to confirm the effect of Kid and Killer. Probably doesn't see many Bonnies or Green Supernova players in his locals day to day. Here it is though, in the finals of the area Fukuoka Championship. Now 1 Don attached onto a 7k swing into the leader of Tapi on this green Bonnie. He has 8 and 1 now in the finals. 1 Don is going to be used to play a Izo, and let's not forget he has another Izo in hand, so going to Izo 3 times in 2 turns. Now 10 cost Newgate is going to be picked up again for Anthony. Will want to chain those in this matchup. Third Izo has hit the board. It is going to be another search. We're looking for Jozu, I believe, and there is the Jozu indeed. So he has managed to find perfect curve in these 3 Izo searches. Next turn's Yamato, the following turn is Jozu to bounce the Cavendish from Tapi, and that is going to be huge for him for sure. Another Koshiro now picked up for Tapi. And let's see what the play is here. It might be that 5 cost, sorry, the 2 cost Koshiro as well as a 1 cost Bonnie. These Izos being 0 means you will need to attach Don to them in order to swing into it with the Izo, so may not be the play. 1 Don now hovered for Tapi, maybe attached to leader to go for a 6k swing into the face of Anthony, and that is going to be the case. A Law Don now attached to face. Here is a 6k swing, 1k counter will be enough. He's also got the full blingy Bonnie Gold Don as well in the back. Leader effect, discarding a 4 cost Mako now, protecting Anthony's face a bit more. Now 3 Don left for Tapi. What will be the play? 1 Don is rested. It looks like it is going to be that Bonnie searcher indeed, or it could still be the Koshiro instead, finding a way to protect his face from some pretty big swings. Another 7k swing is going to be incoming next turn as well. And don't forget, Tapi also has to play around the blue Charlotte Pudding as well. 4 cost will shuffle his entire hand into his deck and make him draw down to 5 only. But there is the Bonnie searcher now played. 1 more Don will be used to use that Bonnie's effect. Top 5 is going to be looked at now. Let's see what Supernova options he does find. There is a Law and Beppo picked up for him. Will allow him to go to 7k base and lock one of those 10 cost Newgates as well, which is pretty huge for sure. One of a really interesting cards that just didn't see a lot of play, but has made it all the way into the finals now. Law and Beppo, the captain and vice captain of the Heart Pirates, are now on display in the finals. 5 on turn now for Anthony. This might be a pretty simple 5 cost Yamato play. It is going to be a 6k swing first into the Bonnie. We're going to play around the leader effects of the Bonnie leader and play the Yamato only after we've swung with our leader and force that Bonnie's effect to go through. Now we're gonna see 2 cards drawn and a Don attached to the leader of Anthony. He is going to be able to draw an additional card if he takes damage or if one of his characters is KO'd this turn. Draws into a 9 cost Shanks, which is really nice as well for him. He really wants to see that for sure. Now he does have options on his turn to KO or remove one of those 10 cost Newgates later. 6 Don turn though for Tapi. He can go for the Cavendish and go for an 8k swing or something like that, or he can go for a Koshiro as well. But I think he would have really liked to see a Tashigi instead, so he can prevent this Cavendish from being removed by Josu. But even still, Josu can also just remove 2 Izos instead. We're gonna see a 5k swing into this Izo, and then Anthony is gonna be forced to use the Izo's effect, draw one, pull 1 card to the bottom of his deck. He draws into another 4-cost Mako. This is a pretty decent card, but may not need it just yet. He actually has the 4th Izo in hand, and he will send that to the bottom of his deck. Sorry, has already seen enough copies of that card this game. Here's the 5-cost Cavendish, now sets 2 Dawn active, will rest them immediately to play a 2-cost Koshiro and pass the turn over to Anthony, who will be on his 7th Dawn turn. And I think we're going to see that 6-cost Josu make his way onto the board. What do you think, chat? It is most likely going to be the case. 1 Dawn now attached to the leader of Anthony will go for a 7k swing, and then that Yamato will get rested. So we're most likely going to see that Yamato not able to attack this turn. Tapi can answer next turn with 8 Dawn very nicely. Cavendish plus the carrot as well. Leader effect of Tapi is going to rest the 5-cost Yamato, and then he will take that life, going up to 7 cards in hand. 6 Dawn now rested to play Josu, bouncing the Izo as well as the Cavendish to the hand of Tapi. Tapi now going to his 8 Dawn turn will be able to again play Cavendish plus carrot, locking this 5-cost Yamato again. But what will be the play? The following turn, that does open him up to do Law and Beppo on the new gate that will be played on the 9 Dawn turn. So let's see. And it looks like there's also a 6-cost Law available for Tapi, so he can also use that to return one of the cards on board to hand. That Kid and Killer, for example, is a pretty good target. We're going to attach one to the leader of Tapi first, and then we'll decide after. Maybe not. It looks like he's going to count out the Dawn first. What is it going to be? Is it going to be the Law or just Law and Cavendish? Cavendish and Carrot is not going to be the case here. It's a 1 Dawn attached 6k swing into that Yamato. 1k counter for Anthony will be discarded. That is a 1-cost Izo. Now he's going to rest 6 Dawn. I believe that's the Law coming down onto the board. It is gonna be Law. He returns Kid and Killer to his hand. We're trading Supernovas for other Supernovas. Now Cavendish, the new age Supernova, will be making his way onto the board. Or will it be Carrot instead? He can play the Carrot to lock this Yamato, but it does come down rested, which is definitely less than ideal. But at the very least will prevent this Yamato from attacking next turn. But remember, now he doesn't have the Kid and Killer on the board, won't be able to restand 1 Dawn. No, he will go for the Cavendish instead. Now 2 Dawn will play a 2nd Koshiro on the board, so can counter out of the leader swing as well as the big swing off of one of the characters. Anthony now on his 9 Dawn turn can go to 8-cost Newgate plus 2 big 8-cost I Am Whitebeard plus the 10-cost Newgate plus 2 big swings. And there it is, 8-cost I Am Whitebeard, and here he is. He hasn't played the Whitebeard yet, but he's already drawing. Remember not to do that. We're gonna go see him play the Newgate, use the Newgates on play, draw 2, discard 1. He has 2 more Newgates and a Roger in hand. So Anthony is drawing insane right now. Even though he was forced to go first, lost the dice roll, he's still in a pretty good position. And he's considering discarding between this Izo or this 4-cost Mako, and it looks like the Mako is gonna be the choice. Now, 2 Rested Dawn on both leader and Josu, and the Josu is going to be swinging for 9 now. And with that 9k swing, we're most likely going to see the leader rested here. But first, one more active Dawn can be assigned. Let's see where this Dawn does go. He can go for a 10k swing with this Josu, which could be pretty good as well. But there's also the option here for Anthony to try and play around that Law and Beppo, not rest any characters as well, but that is not going to be the case. He is going to swing 9k into, I believe, face. And Tapi now has to decide with his leader effect, what is he going to rest? he can rest that 10 cost Newgate or the leader ace to prevent 8k swing, and it is going to be the leader ace. 9k swing is just going to be taken by Tapi, going down to 2 life now. 1 Don is attached to the Yamato for a 7k swing, forcing 3k counter now out from Tapi. It is going to be blocked this time, and now Tapi will have his first 10 Don turn, but he's already staring down a 10k, 10 cost 12k body in the form of that Newgate. Tashigi is now available for Tapi, but just 2 turns too late. Let's see if it's going to be that Law and Beppo indeed turning his leader into a 6k base, and yes it will be. Here it is. 10 cost, rest one of your opponent's characters, and then during their next refresh phase, that character cannot be set active if your opponent has 2 or more rested characters. Now we are also 7k base as well. 6k swing into the Yamato with our Cavendish 2 Don set active now. 1k counter will be enough to get rid of it. Let's see what is going to be the play. First is the Izzo's effect, draw 1 and then put 1 card to the bottom of the deck. A 2k counter is picked up. He can put this Marco down to the bottom of his deck now, and that will be the choice. Now will he counter out of this 6k swing? I believe so. With 7 cards in hand still, he is still feeling pretty healthy. 1k counter is going to be enough. 6k swing now with the 6 cost Law into the Yamato, again countered out with an Otama now, and with 2 more active Don we can expect a 8k swing into this Yamato again, putting it down to another 3k counter. But Tapi still has options. He can still play the Kid and Killer. He bounced to his hand previously, so that might be the play as well, leaving 2 Don open instead. Or does he have another Koshiro in hand to play down for another block? That is going to be an option as well. Tapi has to make a decision though. There's still 18 minutes left in the round, but this game is going to go pretty long. Here's a 8k swing now. 3k required to get out of this swing. And remember, this 10 cost Newgate isn't able to set himself active during Anthony's refresh phase. And it looks like we're countering out of this 3k counter. And Uta and Garp are discarded to counter out. Remember, this Newgate isn't able to be set active. So he is back to rested. 3 attacks still available though for Asoni. He can play another 10 cost Newgate here, and that might be the play. He's already holding onto it. Can go again for some pretty big swings. 8k, 8k, 9k. Sorry, 8k, 8k, 7k, or 8k, 9k as well. Remember, Tapi is at 7k base, so is actually going to be able to defend 8k, 9k a lot easier. 2 cards drawn, 1 card discarded. Next turn, we are going to expect 9 cost Shanks on this 10 cost Newgate most likely. But what will Tapi do? Will he rest the Jozu or leader, or will he rest this 10 cost Newgate to prevent there from being a block on this Law and Beppo 11k swing? Let's find out. First, there's 2 Don on the leader, 2 Don on the Jozu. The Jozu is going to swing 9k into the either the face or the Cavendish here, I believe. The Cavendish is only 6k base after all, while the leader is 7k base. However, Tapi does have a lot of counters still. 9k base, 9k swing is into the leader, I think, here. The Yamato can still swing into the board as well. What is going to be the play? 3k counter is pretty okay. There's 3 carat SPs in the hand of Tapi. Can get rid of one of them plus that Tashigi to counter out of this swing. Let's see. It is going to be a take here. Tapi going down to 1 life. not too concerned about this, and Anthony isn't even gonna swing 6 into the board either, just keeping the Yamato active instead. Now let's see the Shanks appear, I think.
ちょっと多いですね、2000。多いですが、ただ、警告とシャンクスですかね、なりそう
What is going to be the play? There's no 10 cost Dofi, which is really crucial as well. But at the very least, there is a Shanks. Tabi is fully blinked out on this Bonnie.
まだ3あるんですよね。
Does have the Shanks SPs as well. Now let's see what the line is here. Anthony may be low on hand size, but he still has 3 whole life cards for Tapi to push through. Nine Dawn is picked up. It is going to be the Shanks right away, and there it is. Goodbye. 10 cost Newgate. Your other Emperor has appeared. Look at that. The 9 cost SP Shanks. I really like how the production also follows the rarity of the card on Tapi's deck, and there is going to be that 11k swing as well from this Law, and Beppo could go into the Josu, but I think Tapi also wants to try and start applying some pressure because he's already at 1 life and still hasn't really made much progress. The 1 Dawn now could be attached to Leader or this Law and Beppo. And instead it's gonna be attached to Cavendish for a 7k swing into the Josu, where attacking board again. 1k counter though will be enough this time to get rid of this swing. And this 7k swing is blocked by the Newgate. Now we can force an 11k swing into this Josu, and that's definitely going down. But again, Tapi is still in a pretty scary position. 11k swing onto the Josu is probably not gonna be countered out of. 3 cards actually could be countered. He does have a 2k and a 1k. And Anthony is actually playing the 4 cost King Dew in his deck as a 2k counter. Maybe instead of the Josu,
マイナスにするリーダー国家を使う
which is a pretty interesting choice.
3枚か。
Anthony though, if he lets this Josu die, doesn't really have a lot of pressure the following turn, because the Newgate will swing, it will get blocked, and Tapi's leader effect will rest one of those characters. But the 10 cost Roger is available for Anthony as well. Anthony really thinking about countering out of this 11k swing on the Josu. Not an unreasonable consideration either.
マーケットが1枚 KO された時に KO 時のワンドローはもう使っちゃってるんで、それが KO されちゃうともうただただ KO されてしまう。
Anthony can lose this Josu and just draw a card off of losing the Josu. We can then probably expect a 6k swing though from Bonnie. Let's see what he chooses. 3 cards out of hand to protect this 7k swing or to draw an additional card. He will draw a card instead, letting that Josu go to the trash. Oh, has already drawn a card off of the leader effect because of the Shanks KO, I forgot. So actually just lets go of this and doesn't get to draw already. And now we're gonna see a 6k swing into leader with the leader Bonnie. 1k counter only. Anthony does have that available. And I think Tapi could be in a pretty dangerous position, because if he doesn't block the leader swings next turn, that 10 cost Roger could go in for a lot of damage. So maybe this Law isn't gonna turn sideways. Never mind, it is going into face. He doesn't care. It's going to be another 6k swing now.
1枚でも削っておくと。
Now, 1 more K is needed. I am Whitebeard hovered as the potential option to counter out. Bonnie with 9 cards in hand here. Still pretty comfortable. Leader effect will discard a 8 cost Iron Whitebeard and then pass the turn over to Anthony again. 10 Dawn fully open. It draws into another Iron Whitebeard, not what you want to see, but does have options still. He can swing with this 10 cost Newgate and then play down the Roger for a potentially very scary turn. It would also make it so that no blockers can be used by Tapi if he's forced to 0 here. Maybe taking the life a little bit too aggressively earlier. First, there is going to be that 12k swing from the 10 cost Newgate. We're going to use the leader effect of Tapi now to rest the leader ace most likely. And I believe Tapi has to block out of this, because if Roger comes down next, he's in a lot of danger as well. And he's actually chosen to rest Yamato here and blocks the 2k swing, 12k swing. And we're going to see 8 Dawn? Considering 8 Dawn on leader could be crazy here. If we force Tapi to 0, next turn we can just Roger and maybe win the game. Oh boy. What is going to be the option? He's holding on to 7 Dawn. He could go for a 6 cost Uta as well, leaving 1 Dawn open maybe. Might be attaching everything for a big old gem to face. Considering really deeply whether or not it's better to have that big gem to face or to play Roger, it is going to be a big gem into face indeed. 7 Dawn attached, 13k swing, 9k counter is available though for Tapi. He can counter out of this with a lot of cards out of hand. He will lose 5 cards and 4 of them will be 2ks, which will leave him with no more 2ks in hand after, but he can counter out of this and he can leave Law active next turn. So that could be really good for him still. What is his play going to be? Next turn he can put another Koshiro down as well. So I think he's countering out of this. He's holding on to the cards. 9k counter out of this big old swing. And then the remaining 3 Dawn are going to go into Uta and then 1 Dawn active most likely. And there it is, 4 2k counters, 3 Tashigis and a PRB 02 Zoro as well. And 1k with a Carrot SP. So we're getting out of here with 1 life still. 2 Dawn now rested for this 6 cost Uta, and it is back to Tapi's turn. He does have 2 11k bodies on the board, can push quite a bit of damage, but at least for Anthony he's still at 3 life. Now what is the draw? It is a 1 cost Bonnie Searcher. We also have a PRB Zoro blocker and another Koshiro blocker as well. So we do have quite a bit of defensive options here on the side of Tapi. He does have the option to try and clear board here. Just poke into this 10 cost Newgate twice maybe. 13, 14, 14 with both characters. That's 6 Dawn. Force the block, force 3k counter out. And then he won't be able to swing into it again though. 12-12 maybe? There's so many cards available in hand. Or maybe he could go 6k leader first. There's so many options for Tapi. 12-12 into the Newgate would put him at 0 hand. One hand after the 12-12. Now, we're just going face it. Looks like 1 Dawn attached to Bonnie and a 6k swing. This is gonna be countered with leader effect. I am Whitebeard. Considering countering out of this or not, if he takes though, he does have to deal with the remaining board. And remember, he has to play around Hody Jones. There's no guarantee that this Uta and 1 Dawn are gonna stay active. An effective 4k counter in the hand of Anthony, including his leader effect with these 3 cards, but he will be drawing another 2 after he takes 1 life. We'll put him up to 5. Remember, he can't draw off of this Uta because it's 4k base only. This 6k swing, is it gonna be countered? Because if it is, that 10 cost Newgate is in danger. He is going to take it. goes to 2 life now. And now this is the danger zone for Anthony. But Tapi is in just as much danger because if he puts Anthony to 0, he's in a real danger of losing to 10 cost Roger. So what is going to be his play here? Tapi maybe switching to hitting board? He's holding on to so many Dawn. Oh, resting 5 to play Carrot instead. He's gonna lock the 5 cost Yamato, putting another body on the board. Now we're gonna see the Cavendish turn sideways 6k swing into leader again. 2 Dawn will be set active here for Tapi. We're going to force more counter out of Anthony. 1k counter will be enough. He hasn't used his leader effect just yet this turn, and we can still see these Law and Beppo and Shanks turn into the board instead. But now we can ignore the 5 cost Yamato. I believe with 1 blocker up, he can ignore the 10 cost Newgate as well. The 10 cost Newgate and the leader, one of the swings will be negated next turn with Tapi's leader effect. Tapi though has to set Anthony to 1 life at least, or he won't be able to win next turn. With 6 Dawn available, Anthony doesn't need to worry about Hody Jones, but does have to worry about Ashura Deadman's game still. Ashura Deadman's game would mean 6-12-12 into his face, which he is definitely concerned about. So doesn't really want to take another 6k swing if possible. He is going to counter out with the 1 cost Garp. Grandpa's here to save you, little boy. We're going to hold on to a couple more Dawn. What is going to be the play for Tapi here? 6k swing with the Law maybe, even though it's a blocker, he doesn't really need it right now. Might just use it as an attacker instead. Could go for an 8k swing or even 11-11-12 with the board he has here. But I don't think lethal is available for Tapi right now. He might just have to play another blocker. And we're gonna swing. Law is swinging. 6k swing into the face of Anthony. We're not afraid. 1k counter again forced out of him. He can go +1/+1 onto the Law and Beppo and the Shanks and then play just a Koshiro. Or he can go 12-13 Koshiro. Lots of options still for Tapi. What's going to be the choice? 1k, he does take to 0. 12k swing onto the Newgate now. And then we're gonna go put 3 Dawn, I believe, onto the Newgate this time. It's gonna be 2 Dawn onto the Newgate. It doesn't matter. Anthony hasn't used his leader effect yet, so another 12k swing into the Newgate here, forcing another card out of Anthony. Still stuck on 1 life, so he can't use his Gold Roger just yet, but could use it to push some more damage. Now we're gonna pass the turn over to Anthony. He does still have that 10 cost Newgate on the board, but most likely isn't gonna be able to use anything else. He does have a 10 cost Newgate in hand as well as the I Am Whitebeard event too, so can also play that to have another big blocker on the board, but I don't know if that's gonna be enough. Now let's see what's going to be the play here. Has the option to go even more defensive, play another 10 cost Newgate blocker on the board, but again, you have to worry about the Hody Jones. Anthony though still has to play with all of that in mind, does still have a blocker Uta on the board. Tapi might even choose to just rest the Uta blocker instead with the leader effect of the Green Bonnie. What is going to be the play? There is gonna be the Newgate now added. 2-hand way, use that to play down. He does have to worry about what the options are, but no, 10 cost Newgate is going to be the choice here. Is a draw 2, discard 1. I believe the Iron Whitebeard event is going to be sent to the trash. He does draw into 2 1k counters, so that's pretty nice to see for Anthony. 2 rested Dawn now on leader as well as the 10 cost Newgate. He will use that for a 14k swing into the face of Tapi. 14k swing is most likely going to be blocked, and then the Dawn is going to be used. He is not going to use anything. He's going to pass with both the Newgates active, and we are going to see whether Tapi can finish the game here, or if he has to play around the Roger. He doesn't have any good plays this turn, so maybe all of these swings just go into the 5-cost Yamato instead, but he has to try and finish. If he goes to 0, if he pushes Anthony to 0, he's gonna get Rogered. And not only that, the time has already been called. And because the time has ended on the second player's turn, we're gonna see 2 more turns. So this is turn 1. We're gonna see Anthony play turn 2, and then the last turn 3 will be played by Tapi before the game is over. This is the finals, but we're still playing on time. First, we're counting by number of life, then we're counting number of cards in deck, I believe. So let's see what's going to be the play here for Tapi. He does have 10 Dawn. Can he try and push for lethal? I don't believe he can live otherwise. He does still have another blocker in hand in the form of the 4-cost PRB Zoro, and also has 2 1-cost Bonnies which he can use to look for more options still. So there are options for him. I wonder if he's going to try and push lethal. He needs to go through 1 life and 3 blockers without a single way to rest. He hasn't found the Hody Jones. He doesn't have a way out now. But if he did, I believe that would have been enough. He just doesn't have it yet. And Ashura Dead Man's Game is not a Supernova type card, so that 1-cost Bonnie isn't going to be able to look for it. He doesn't have lethal here no matter what. He does have 5 attacks, but all 5 need to go through. He's just gonna go swing 6k into face. We're gonna counter out of that with the 5-cost Yamato. Now, what is going to be the next play? Protecting his life here is still pretty important, but now Tapi is guaranteed to not have enough swings to finish the game. He can maybe put Dawn on Koshiro, but that's not gonna be enough. 1 on leader, 7 on Koshiro, 2 on Cavendish. That's 6, 8, 8. There's no way that's enough to finish a game. And this is the finals of the championship in Fukuoka. We're gonna look at 2 Dawn, maybe rested. We're gonna use that Bonnie's effect now, trashing the Carrot and playing Kid and Killer instead. We're looking for Supernova outs here. What is the outs available? There's another blocker in the 5-cost SEC Bonnie, but that's not the choice. What is it going to be? It is 5-cost Stun Bonnie instead. Could be used if we see a block from Anthony. What is it going to be? He's considering that 5-cost Stun Bonnie, but he could also just go for the blocker instead. A blocker could also help him find a key card like Hody Jones or the Dead Man's Game for the following turn to go for his final lethal. It is going to be the Stun Bonnie instead, though it looks like. And there it is, the Stun Bonnie indeed. He will have that available to lock one of these 10-cost Newgates from attacking if he chooses to block with them this turn. Tapi though going for a 6k swing now with the Cavendish, forcing Anthony again. Do you want to counter out with your hand? He has to hold on to this Roger. Tapi is back to 10 Dawn total again. 1k counter with the Jozu in his hand. 11k swings available for Tapi now. And if he swings both of these characters, Anthony can just take one and block one with the Uta, and he's not in danger. He can very safely go for the Roger. And Tapi, even if he locks one of these Newgates, he's not going to be able to go for a game. But I don't think he has a choice. He needs to try and push to 0 and pray that there's no Roger in hand for Anthony. So 11k swing is going to come in from Law and Beppo. The captain and the vice captain of the Heart Pirates will put Anthony down to 0. He takes a life, he takes another card from the top of his deck, draws into a 2k. He has Tatch as well. Now, it is going to be Anthony's last turn next turn, but it also looks like that will be Tapi's last turn. But no, actually, the body will prevent the 10-cost Roger from coming down. One of the Dawn is rested next turn. There's no Roger available for Anthony. He's not going to be able to win the game. 4-cost PRB Zoro now played onto the board. Oh my gosh, Anthony, no Roger allowed for you. And that means none of your swings are going to go through. He does still have Josu. He does have Red Rock. He can get rid of one of these blockers, but that may not be enough. Getting rid of one of these blockers means that he does still have 2 attacks. He does have the Uta and the New Gate available to swing. 1 New Gate, 1 Uta, and 1 leader swing for Anthony. Is that going to be enough? 6 Dawn for the Josu, 4 Dawn left to split. 1 on leader, 3 on Uta, 7, 7, 12. And Tapi has 3k counter in hand, which means that's not gonna be enough after the Red Rock. And let's not forget there's 1 rested Dawn as well. The ace doesn't have it. Anthony has been shut down by the 5-cost body. But first we're gonna see the Red Rock anyway. 4-cost Zoro is sent to the bottom of Tapi's deck. 3 Dawn remaining for Tapi. He's not given up yet. 3 Dawn left available for him. I don't know if he can last one more turn. He does still have 3 blocks. But Tapi has 4 attacks. Block, block, block. And let's not forget, sorry, there is no next turn for Anthony. There is only this turn. Because after that, we're going time out. 6k swing now into the leader of Tapi. 1 Dawn is rested. 2 rest one of these 10-cost new gates most likely. And that is going to be the target of the leader effect of the Bonnie. 6k swing is counted out with 2 different 1ks. And then we're going to see 7k swing from the Uta and a 12k swing from the new gate. 1k is going to be the answer to this 6k swing. 3 Dawn now attached to Uta, going in for a 7k swing into the face of Tapi. He does take that hit, but with this 12k swing, we're going to answer it with Shimosuke Koshiro. We're going to pass turn back to Tapi. He does draw for turn. It's going to be his final turn indeed. 10 Dawn now on the Law and Beppo. He's going to be game. Green Body wins Fukuoka. Wow! Oh my god! Tapi! He's done it! He's done it! Oh my goodness! Holy shit! Good Lord, what a win by Tapi! He found the 5-cost body of that search. And that was enough to win him the game by preventing 10-cost Roger from making his way on the board. Wow! And because of the overtime rules as well, with 1 life left, he would have won regardless if he wasn't pushed to 0 there. So had to try and push. Wow, Bonnie won the entire tournament. I can't believe it. What a day for that Bonnie player, for sure. That's amazing. What a result. Congratulations, Tapi. You have proved to the Bonnie copers the deck is real still. And to the Bonnie haters, unfortunately, that the deck is real still as well. Oh boy. Oh boy. Chat. Wow. What a day. What a day, chat. Oh my gosh. That's wild. I can't believe they won. What the heck? Congratulations, Bonnie Copers. Oh, congratulations. Wow, the 5-cost Bonnie play was crazy. I totally forgot about the Dawn. Well, let's remember that, like, this deck is pretty favored, to my understanding, to the Bonnie. So, good for them. Oh my gosh. I don't understand though, like this matchup, I'm pretty sure that Bonnie is like super unfavored into Emu. But I guess one thing that you can do is like you can rest Jupiter and then you punch him and then you're 7k base and then the Emu cannot answer. So maybe that's why it's playable. Is it me or the trophy is slightly smaller? No, I think it's average sized. It's a very healthy sized trophy. It's a good size for a trophy. No, I think the law and Beppo is actually kind of cooking. Like in the Emu matchup, I think you rest Jupiter, then you punch Jupiter, then you don't take 7k swings to the face. Then you don't die, maybe. But I don't know, like then the Emu should just pop 10, right? Then how he lose? Or maybe he just dodged Emu. He dodged Emu the entire day. Maybe he dodged Emu the entire day. Imagine he dodged Emu the entire day. That would be wild. Oh my god though. Congratulations on Bonnie is crazy. No, I think that one turn, right? If the ace, instead of Gem 13 he play Roger, like he just play Roger active and push to 0, I think that would be better, no? Or he play Roger, then he try to draw Thatch. Just in time for T1 to play. T1 is playing? Let's go! Okay, bye chat. I gotta go watch T1. Okay, well, thanks everyone for coming to the stream. I appreciate it. And I will see you guys next time. Peace out. Bye bye.